Hi, welcome to another edition of StrawBearie Designs. I'm Michelle, and today we're going to be making these little tags that say thank you all over them with a little apple for Teacher Appreciation Week. I've already made several, and I actually batch made these. I laid them all out on my table at once. I worked on all of them at the same time, step by step. But today I'm going to show you just how to make one, make it a little easier for you. So the first thing you need is a tag and just a regular shipping tag. You need to decide which side that you want your hole to be on. On some of these, I had my hole on the left, and on others I had my hole on the right. And I really kind of liked the hole on the right better because I felt like I could add the string, and I didn't feel like there was a place that I could add it on this one. But it's totally up to you, whatever you decide. Do a little of both like I did. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my apple. And I'm using archival ink, and I have this apple stamp. It's an old Stampin' Up stamp. I'm going to stamp it pretty close to the corner. Now I'm going to use that same black archival ink, and I'm going to stamp thank you all over this. Some of these stamps are old Stampin' Up ones. They all say thank you. Some of them are the cheap ones that are in the dollar bin at Michael's. I was looking for any of the stamps that I could find that had thank you on them, and I was grabbing all of those. Got both clear and wood mounted. I think this is from Simon Says Stamp, if I remember correctly. And I'm just kind of covering up with all these little thank you stamps. You can try to stamp across the little plasticky part on the shipping tag. Because it is archival ink, it's permanent and it should stick, but you just have to make sure it dries real well before you smudge it. Once I have all of my thank yous on, try to figure out where this one should go. And by the way, I'm stamping right now on a piece of cardboard that I'm just using as a surface to help stamp on and to keep the rest of my work table semi-clean. If you could see the whole work table right now, I kind of scooted everything off to the side so you couldn't see how messy it was, but it'll probably show itself. This is my trick. It's an old paint pad. Spray a little water on it, and that's what I use to clean it. Sometimes I'll have two paint pads out, one wet, one dry. But right now I'm just using the wet side to wash it and the dry side to dry it. And since this is permanent archival ink, it has probably stained my stamps, so I'm not too worried if they still look black because of the ink that I used just now. And I just have clear water on here. No special cleaners right now. Just for my regular stamping and then washing them. Okay. Now that all of that's on there, I do want to make sure that I don't smear. So I'm going to dry. Especially that section right there. Now, for my apple, I need to mask that. So I have some Post-it note paper and a circle punch, and I am taking that paper, it's sticky, and sticking it in my punch, and well, always works better when you're not on camera. I'm trying to stick it inside. And I know I should probably edit this part of the video. We'll have to see if I do or not. Okay, so I'm punching that out. So I have this circle that I'm just putting right here over my apple so that I can mask it off so it's not going to get all the color on it. Now on these ones that I did earlier, I used some polka dots, some small polka dots and some larger polka dots. But I think this one I'm going to try some stars. So I have this star template. And our school colors are purple and gold. So I'm going to start off with some purple spray ink. Shake it up good, and I'm just going to do a couple squirts. Now, when I'm doing this, a lot of times, because my stencil is now wet with ink, on a different one, I will turn it over so that you get the reverse. But since I'm only doing one right now, I'll show you what that kind of looks like to turn it over and get the reverse. You can kind of see a little shadow of the stars there. Our school colors are purple and gold, so I want to use a little gold. I have this template that I just made out of cardstock with my die cut machine one time when I needed a whole bunch of stars cut out. So I'm going to lay that across, and this is actually called mustard, but it comes out much more gold looking than mustard looking. So I'm going to spray and get that to lay flat. Spray some of that on. And it's starting to take shape. Okay, I got my hands all mustard that time. Now, the ink is pretty wet, so we need to dry it. Sometimes when you have that puddling up, you can take a piece of paper or a baby wipe or whatever and just kind of blot up where it's standing. Now, this looks pretty good, but I thought it lacked something, some kind of dimension. So I decided to add just a little bit of silver spray. And I'm not going to use the stencil for this one. I'm just going to just give it a little squirts from kind of high up to give it just a little bit of a shimmer. Now I want to add a little bit more color, so I'm going to take some ink, and this is a very economical way to buy ink in a set with just these little bitty ones. This is a Stampabilities, and it's called Grape. It's a nice purple, and I'm going to take a makeup sponge that I'm just going to fold in half and use to apply my ink instead of one of those expensive fancy ones. I'm just using a makeup sponge from the dollar store. So just start off I'm going to ink around my edges with my dark purple ink. And the look I'm going for is obviously not a very clean and crisp look. So if it gets a little fold or a little edge to it, it's really not a big deal to me. I'm just having fun, playing and having fun, and making a little gift at the same time. Now, it does not stick real well to the plastic part, so I went inside a little bit on that one. Needs a little bit more around the edge, so now I'm going to just rub my card through the edge like that, just to give it a nice, crisp, darker edge right at the edge. And go ahead and do even the plastic side. Okay, that looks good. Time to move on, and we're going to do our apple now. So I'm going to remove my Post-it note circle. You can see my apple is nice and clean. Got a little Post-it note glue stuck on there. Got a little too wet. And I am actually going to use gelato. I've got this red gelato, and I'm going to just color it on my apple and use my finger just to smear it in to give my apple that nice red color. And I am almost done. Now, one thing that I did on my other ones that It doesn't really show up real well unless you're looking at it closely. I don't know how well it'll show up in the video. Is I took this swirl stamp and I just stamped it with my embossing ink pad, which actually is just glycerin. And I just kind of found a spot that I thought was a little blank and I stamped it down. And then I took some perfect pearls, because I have purple perfect pearls. Wow, say that 10 times real fast. I dare ya. I'm usually better at tongue twisters than that. And somewhere on my messy desk, I have a brush that I use with my perfect pearls. And it seems to have totally disappeared. So I will find this cheap brush and see if this works at all. So just take the perfect pearls and I'm just going to dab it on to where that swirl was. And I probably took too long trying to find the perfect pearls, so you can't see it very well. It's hard to see anyway. On this one you can kind of see it right in this area. Just something very subtle. You don't have to do, maybe if I had a different color of purple, a darker one or something, it would show up a little bit better. Now, I wanted to use washi tape just because I never use washi tape and I'm always thinking I want to use some. So I found some gold washi tape. I'm just going to take a piece off. And I'm going to stick it here on the end just to give it something a little different, a little extra. I'm just tearing off the edges. And our tag is almost done. Now I want to wrap it with some baker's twine, and I found this cute purple and white baker's twine. So I'm going to wrap it once, twice, 3 times. You know, I own 100 pairs of scissors, but I can never find a pair when I want one. Okay, I'm just going to cut that, tie that off in a simple knot. Boy, my hands have a lot of that mustard spray on them. And I could be done, or I could add a ribbon to my end. So I have a little ribbon here. I'm just going to stick it through the hole. You can decide, do you want to tie it in a knot, tie it in a bow. However you think it would work better. You can use fat ribbon, you can use thin ribbon. Just something to give it a little extra special touch. Like that. And my plan is to deliver these to the teachers with a candy bar maybe underneath them, maybe who it's from underneath them, just to go with it. Just a quick little appreciation gift for the teachers here during Teacher Appreciation Week. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up, like this video, tell all your friends, and have a great day crafting away.